There comes a moment in every person's life when the noise of the world becomes louder than the whisper within. The voices of doubt, fear, and insecurity try to convince you that you are not enough, that your dream is too far, and your strength too small. But the truth is, every great destiny begins with one unshakable decision: to believe in yourself. Before the world ever believes in your vision, you must carry the faith that it was placed inside you for a reason. You were not born by accident, you were born with intention, with a purpose designed long before you ever took your first breath. When you stop believing in yourself, you disconnect from the very source of your power. The dream in your heart is not random, it is evidence of what you are capable of. The fact that it burns inside you means it already belongs to you. Belief is not about waiting until everything looks possible, it's about standing tall even when everything looks impossible. You were created to bring something into this world that no one else can deliver, and that is why belief must become your foundation. Belief is the foundation of purpose and destiny because everything in life is built first in the unseen realm of conviction before it manifests in reality. You cannot walk in a purpose you do not first believe in. Every dream, every calling, every assignment begins as a seed planted in the soil of belief. Without belief, that seed cannot take root. You may have the talent, the opportunity, and the desire, but if belief is missing, you will never see the fullness of what was meant to grow from within you. Belief gives life to vision. It transforms imagination into action, and action into manifestation. It is the inner engine that drives destiny forward when logic tells you to stop. When you believe, you give yourself permission to step into the unknown. You dare to see beyond what others can see, because belief gives you eyes that look beyond limitations. It connects you to something higher than yourself, a divine intention that calls you to rise above ordinary thinking. Your purpose is not born from circumstances, it is born from identity. You cannot fulfill what you do not first accept as true about yourself. That is why belief is not optional, it is essential. Belief becomes the bridge between who you are and who you were created to be. There are people with great potential who never walk in it, not because they lack ability, but because they doubt their own worth. They wait for others to affirm them, to approve them, to say they are ready. But destiny does not wait for approval. It responds to belief. When you believe, you align yourself with purpose, and purpose begins to work in your favor. The universe, life, and opportunities begin to respond to the energy of certainty that flows from within you. Belief sets things in motion that your eyes cannot yet see. Your destiny is shaped by what you choose to believe about yourself. Every time you choose doubt, you delay your progress. Every time you choose belief, you accelerate your purpose. The reason belief is the foundation is because it determines the structure of your future. You cannot build something greater than the level of your belief. If your belief is small, your dreams will remain small. But if your belief is unshakable, your possibilities become limitless. The size of your destiny is measured by the strength of your belief. When challenges come, belief becomes your anchor. It holds you steady when life tries to shake your faith. It reminds you that purpose is bigger than pain and that destiny does not crumble under pressure. It gives you the strength to stand tall in seasons of uncertainty, because belief whispers that what is inside you is greater than what stands before you. Belief empowers you to move with confidence even when the path is unclear. It teaches you to trust that every step taken in faith is leading you closer to the reason you were born. Your vision is proof of your potential because you cannot imagine what you are not capable of becoming. The picture you see in your mind is not fantasy, it is revelation. It is a glimpse of what already exists within you, waiting to be awakened and developed. Vision is the language of destiny. It shows you who you truly are beneath the surface of your current reality. When something inside you hungers for more, when your heart longs for a life beyond what you can presently see, that is not coincidence, it is a calling from your potential trying to make itself known. Vision is the evidence that you have been designed for something greater than your surroundings. The reason vision feels so real is because it originates from the part of you connected to purpose. You were not created to live only by what you see around you but by what you perceive within you. The dream that burns in your spirit is not asking for permission to exist, it is waiting for your belief to bring it to life. The moment you see a glimpse of what could be, you are also being shown what already resides in you. Vision is potential seeking expression. It is destiny sending you a message that you already have what it takes to bring that dream into form. Every invention, every achievement, every great transformation began as a vision in someone's heart. They saw something that did not yet exist in the physical world but was alive within them. That inner image became their compass. It guided their choices, their discipline, and their persistence. Vision pulls you forward when motivation fades. It gives you direction when the path seems unclear. It whispers, "There is more in you," when everything around you tells you to quit. You must understand that your vision is not random. It was tailored for your gifts, your experiences, and your unique design. What you see is tied to who you are. That is why you cannot compare your vision to another person's journey. Each person's potential expresses itself differently. Your vision was customized to your capacity. It stretches you because it was made to grow you. It challenges you because it was made to change you. The fact that you can see it means you are meant to reach it. The danger comes when you ignore your vision or doubt your ability to fulfill it. When you silence that inner picture, you disconnect from your purpose. You begin to live by sight instead of insight. You start existing instead of creating. But when you honor your vision, when you treat it as divine evidence of what you can become, you awaken a force inside you that cannot be stopped. The more you nurture that vision, the more your potential expands. Every small step you take toward it reveals new strength, new courage, and new capacity you never knew you had. Vision is not just something you see, it is who you are becoming through the process of believing in what you've seen. Champions rise through self-belief, not validation, because greatness is never born in the applause of others but in the quiet conviction of one's own heart. The moment you begin to depend on the world to tell you who you are, you hand over the authority of your destiny. Every true champion learns early that approval is fleeting, but belief is eternal. Validation can inspire you, but it cannot sustain you. It fades when people change their opinions, when circumstances turn against you, when success feels distant. Only self-belief gives you the endurance to stand when recognition is gone and the crowd grows silent. The strength of a champion is measured not by how loud others cheer, but by how deeply they believe. When no one is watching, self-belief is the foundation of inner confidence. It is not arrogance or pride, it is awareness. It is the understanding that something divine has been placed within you that cannot be diminished by rejection or doubt. The world will not always recognize your value, and that is why you must know it yourself. Champions do not wait to be chosen, they choose themselves. They rise not because someone told them they could, but because they decided they would. When you carry self-belief, you move differently. You speak with authority. You act with conviction. You refuse to be limited by the disbelief of others. The journey to greatness is often lonely, not because you are unloved, but because your path is unique. People may not understand what you see or where you're going. They may question your choices or doubt your abilities. But champions are built in those moments of isolation. When no one sees your effort, when no one praises your sacrifice, when no one recognizes your growth, that is when self-belief must do its greatest work. It keeps you consistent, focused, and unwavering. It tells you that what you carry inside is more real than the opinions that surround you. Validation is dangerous when it becomes your source of identity. If you depend on others to define your worth, their silence will destroy you. The world can celebrate you today and criticize you tomorrow. But when your belief comes from within, you remain unshaken. Champions understand that approval is temporary, but purpose is permanent. They do not live for applause, they live for fulfillment. They are not motivated by being seen, but by becoming who they were created to be. Self-belief also creates resilience. When failure comes, you don't break, you learn. When doors close, you don't stop, you knock again. When people doubt, you don't argue, you prove them wrong through consistency. Belief gives you the strength to start again and again, until success bows to your persistence. Every champion was once a beginner who refused to quit. Their victory did not come from validation but from the quiet decision to keep moving forward, even when no one believed in them. Self-belief is the fire that turns ordinary people into extraordinary examples of what faith in oneself can achieve. Fear and failure are tools that shape your strength because without resistance, there can be no growth. Every test you face is not designed to break you but to reveal what is already within you. Fear is not the enemy, it is the signal that you are standing at the edge of expansion. When you feel fear, it means you are confronting a part of yourself that is ready to evolve. Growth does not happen in comfort, it happens in confrontation. The reason fear feels powerful is because it challenges you to rise above your limitations and prove to yourself that you can survive beyond your doubts. Failure serves the same purpose. It refines what fear exposes. Every time you fall short, life is not denying you, it is developing you. The lessons hidden in failure are the stepping stones of mastery. Without them, you would not have the wisdom to carry your destiny. Each disappointment, rejection, or delay is a mirror that shows you where you need to grow, adjust, and strengthen. Failure is not the end, it is feedback. It is the universe's way of teaching you resilience, patience, and humility. Those who run from failure never experience true success because they avoid the very experiences that would have made them strong enough to sustain it. Fear and failure are not opposites of success, they are ingredients of it. The people who rise to greatness are not those who never fall, but those who never stay down. They have learned to turn pain into power, mistakes into movement, and fear into focus. They understand that courage is not the absence of fear but the decision to act in spite of it. When you face what you fear, it begins to lose its control over you. What once intimidated you becomes your training ground, your classroom, your preparation for higher levels of purpose. When life tests you, it is not trying to punish you. It is preparing you. Every trial reveals your endurance. Every failure strengthens your character. Every fear overcome increases your confidence. These experiences are shaping the foundation upon which your future will stand. Strength is not built in moments of ease, it is built in seasons of struggle. That is why those who have endured the most often carry the deepest wisdom and the quietest power. They have been refined by life, not defeated by it. Fear teaches awareness. Failure teaches perseverance. Together, they mold you into someone capable of carrying greatness responsibly. You cannot grow into your destiny without walking through discomfort. Fear sharpens your focus, and failure strengthens your resolve. When you understand this truth, you stop running from challenges and begin to embrace them as necessary steps toward your purpose. Every time you confront your fears, you reclaim your power. Every time you rise after failure, you expand your capacity. What once felt like pain becomes preparation, and what once looked like loss becomes the foundation of strength that no one can take from you. Greatness begins in silence and inner conviction because the most powerful transformations happen long before anyone notices. The seed of greatness does not grow in the spotlight, it grows in solitude. It is in those quiet moments of reflection, discipline, and self-discovery that your true strength is formed. When no one is watching, when no one applauds, when you are left alone with your vision and your doubts, that is where character is built. Silence is not the absence of progress, it is the birthplace of it. The greatest achievements in life often come from those who learned how to nurture their purpose in secret before the world ever saw the results. Inner conviction is what keeps you moving when motivation fades. It is the voice inside that says, "I will not quit," even when everything around you tells you to stop. Conviction gives you direction when opportunities are unclear. It holds you steady when storms rise. It reminds you of who you are when life tries to make you forget. The strength of your conviction determines the size of your destiny. Without it, you will always depend on external validation to keep you going. But when conviction burns from within, no rejection, delay, or obstacle can silence you. Greatness is never built in noise. It does not require a crowd, a stage, or attention. It requires focus, patience, and faith in the unseen process. Every great builder understands that before a structure rises high, its foundation must go deep. The deeper the foundation, the greater the stability. Silence is where that foundation is dug. It is in the hidden seasons that you are being shaped, tested, and refined. The waiting, the obscurity, the long nights of work with no recognition, all of it is preparation. Those who skip the silence never develop the depth required to sustain greatness once it comes. Inner conviction also separates the committed from the curious. Many people dream, but few are willing to labor in the unseen places until the dream becomes reality. Conviction demands sacrifice. It asks you to keep working when you feel unseen, to keep believing when nothing seems to move. It pushes you to keep improving when others have stopped trying. This is why true greatness cannot be faked. It is forged in the quiet fire of consistency. Every small act of discipline, every decision to persist when giving up feels easier, every moment you choose faith over fear, these are the silent steps that build an unshakable foundation for success. When your conviction is strong, you no longer need to chase opportunities, opportunities begin to find you. The world eventually recognizes the strength that has been developed in silence. The results of your inner work will always speak louder than your words. The one who has mastered silence, who has built deeply, who has believed quietly, becomes unstoppable because their greatness was not given by applause but grown through conviction that could not be shaken. The world responds to the power of unwavering belief because belief carries an energy that influences everything around you. When you believe in yourself completely, you send a signal into the atmosphere that aligns circumstances, opportunities, and people with your purpose. Life does not move according to what you want, it moves according to what you believe. Every thought, every word, every action carries the vibration of your faith or your fear. The world reflects that back to you. Those who doubt themselves attract hesitation, but those who believe radiate certainty, and certainty attracts results. The power of unwavering belief is not about arrogance, it is about alignment with the truth of who you are and what you are meant to do. Unwavering belief transforms ordinary moments into divine appointments. It makes the impossible possible because it refuses to accept limitations as final. When you walk with confidence in your purpose, doors that were once closed begin to open. People who once overlooked you begin to take notice. Opportunities that seemed distant suddenly appear. Belief creates motion, it awakens what was sleeping and breathes life into what seemed dead. The world is drawn to those who carry conviction because conviction creates clarity, and clarity creates influence. When you know who you are and stand firm in that knowledge, everything around you starts to shift to accommodate that truth. Unwavering belief is not fragile. It is not shaken by delay or destroyed by rejection. It stands steady through seasons of uncertainty because it is rooted in faith, not in evidence. Belief does not wait for proof, it becomes the proof. It acts as though what is unseen is already finished. This is why those who believe deeply often seem to create miracles. They are not lucky, they are aligned. Their inner faith is stronger than their external reality, and eventually, reality must bend to match their belief. The world cannot resist the force of a person who believes with their whole being. Belief is a magnet that pulls purpose into manifestation. It determines how high you rise, how far you go, and how much you can carry. You cannot manifest what you do not first believe is possible. When your belief is firm, your actions gain authority. Your words gain power. Your presence gains influence. People feel it when you walk into a room. They sense the confidence, the assurance, the quiet power that comes from someone who knows their purpose. This kind of belief cannot be taught. It must be cultivated through self-awareness, discipline, and persistence. The world mirrors the strength of your belief back to you. If you believe in lack, you experience limitation. If you believe in purpose, you experience progress. When belief becomes unwavering, everything begins to align in your favor. Mountains move not because they are weak, but because your conviction is strong. Life bends toward the will of those who refuse to doubt. The power that shapes destiny is not in circumstance but in the certainty of belief that refuses to break, no matter what stands in its way.